Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. So I'm just sharing the screen. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So just wait for a couple of more minutes since this is the first demo class and in the morning, so people might be little delayed. So I'm sharing the screen. I request you guys to please go through the content. Okay, in the meantime. So I'll get started in another 5 minutes. 6:05, I will get started.
Okay, sir.
So good morning, guys. Let us get started. So welcome to the Complete Threads workshop, guys. My name is Karthik. So I'm going to facilitate this session from the Ashok IT. Okay. So before getting started, the prerequisite is you need to know at least core Java programming. When I say programming, what is a class, what is an object, how to create an object, etc. in Java, OP principles. Okay. So even though if you do not know what is a thread, how to create a thread, don't worry. I'm going to teach all of those. So in this complete workshop, we are going to learn all the thread topics. So we'll start with the basic. What is a thread? How many ways we can create a thread object? difference between the Java program execution and a thread execution. I'm going generally people know that different ways to create a thread object, but they do not know how to visualize a thread. So I'm going to show you that. And then thread lifecycle. So different states in a thread, like we have a new state, runnable, running, dead, sleep, wait, logged. All the states we are going to look at under this. So, and then we are going for a synchronization. First of all, what is the need for a synchronization? And then how can I do the synchronization in Java? So once we know the synchronization, there comes what is an object lock, what is class lock. I'm going to explain this object lock and class lock with a one real-time example so that easily you can understand. So you might be getting some questions in the interview that T1 thread is working on A object on M1 method. Can T2 thread work on the A object M2 method? So these kind of a questions you might have heard in the interview, right? So I'm going to explain how. So this is nothing but an object lock. So when T1 thread is working on M1 object, which is synchronized, T2 thread cannot work on any other method. So first we are going to see with a real-time example, what is object lock, what is a class lock, and why we need those. And then we'll see how to answer the questions in the interview. So this object lock and class lock is very important. And I will be explaining this object lock and class lock with a live example and debugging. Then we'll go for it. So there is a lock mechanism also present in Java. What is a lock and what is the difference? What is the drawback of a synchronization? How we can achieve that with a lock? So synchronization versus lock. And what is inter-thread communication? So you know that wait, notify all are used for inter-thread communication. But first of all, what is the inter-thread? Generally, intercom. So in our apartments, we have an intercom. Can someone tell me why the intercom is used?
Basically, to communicate between what is going on, what other person is doing. So that's why intercom is used. So
only
that way,
only in that apartment building, correct?
in that apartment, like somebody's upstairs, somebody downstairs, if they wanted to communicate, or in the rooms are separate far away, then if they are coordinating some work, so they use that intercom. That way one will be completing, the other can take over. So such kind of a coordination can be done with the intercom.
Yeah. So when one classic example, when someone comes to your home, you security reaches to you through the intercom, and once you confirm it, they will let them know into the apartment, right? So similarly, that means one person is telling to other person. So this is a communication, right? So similarly, threads also can communicate to each other. So that is called inter-thread communication. So how can we do the inter-thread communication? Using wait, notify all. So that is also we are going to see with a program. And then one classic example of question of what is the difference between a sleep and wait, and why notify all wait method is present in the object class, why not in a thread class? Yield method and join method. So these are the so yield is a static method which is present in the thread class. So we're going to see what is the use of yield method, what is the join method, and we'll see what is the drawback of a thread. So because of this drawback of a thread, then we will go to the thread pools in Java. So first of all, what is a thread pool? How many thread pools are present in Java? So how can I write a multi-threading program using a thread pool? So there basically 4 thread pools are present. We are going to see the multi-threading program using a executor framework using these 4 thread pools, which I have covered in the my. So some of you have joined my workshop right last week on the complete thread workshop, multi-threading of a salary calculation, right? So that was it's a workshop, so I have to go little fast. But since there is a complete threads explanation, so I'll be going little slow, and I will be explaining that. So using each thread pool, how can I do the work? And then we'll go for what is why there is a callable interface in Java. What is the need for callable interface? See, we can do the object creation using runnable, but what is the need for callable interface? So we'll be looking at that. And how to implement a thread pool means using an executor framework. So these 3 covers multi-threading, practical program, executive framework, thread pool. So this three will be covered using one multi-threading example. Now, after that, so whenever you are using an executive framework on callable, so we need to use a feature interface. What is a feature interface in Java? So this is also comes under a thread. What is a volatile keyword? Now, what is a deadlock? Like how the deadlock will occur and how can I avoid it? Like I will be writing a program to show you the deadlock. That means deadlock is nothing but T1 thread is wanted to access T2, but T2 thread wanted to access T1. So, but there is a lock, so they cannot access. So the program will go like it will never complete. So that is called deadlock. Now, I will show you the program, how the deadlock will be acquired. And in order to read, like not whenever you're writing a program, the deadlock should not occur. So how to avoid that? Like what are the precautions you need to take? And then we are going to see what is atomicity in Java. So in Java, we have atomic variables. Atomic variables. We have something called atomic, integer, atomic, like long, double, etc. So these are called so basically the concept is called as atomicity. So we are going to see what is atomicity, and under the atomicity we are going to look at all the atomic variables and with a sample program. And then yeah, we have this. I think it's already covered somewhere. Yeah. What is so under the lock mechanism we have different locks: reentrant lock, read write lock. What is a read write lock? What is a reentrant lock? We will see and we will create that. So in this, whenever we are looking at the lock mechanism, generally, if I'm using a synchronization, if T1 thread is accessing M1 method on A object, then T2 thread cannot access M2 method on the same object. This is nothing but an object lock. Don't worry, I will explain this one. So whenever there is a lock, T2 thread cannot access this one. But there is one feasibility in the lock mechanism. I will check. There is a method called try lock. So if there is a lock, then it will go into, if there is no lock, it will acquire the lock. If there is no, if already there is a lock, then you can do some some logic. So in normal way of synchronization, if there is a lock, you cannot do anything. But using a lock interface, by using a try lock method, if there is a lock, you can do some other work which comes into the block. If there is no lock, it will go and acquire the lock. So that means you can do your utility work or something, right? So this is very important. So we are going to see this one in the lock interface, like using a reentrant lock, read write lock, etc. And then what is a countdown latch? And in Java 8, there are some changes happened to the executive framework. In the executive framework, they have invoked, so generally in the executive framework, we have a submit method and then execute method. So these methods, and they have introduced invoke all. So there is a method called invoke all in the executor interface class, which is introduced in Java 8. So we are going to see that as well. And okay, countdown latch is already covered. Let me remove this. And I'm going to tell you basically how can I do a producer consumer problem. So producer consumer is nothing but producer is producing an input and then consumer has to receive it. And so in order to explain this one, we can use a thread. So generally that is nothing but a blocking queue. In the blocking queue, say there is we have a queue, first in, first out, right? So we also have another interface called blocking queue. So in the blocking queue, there are different methods, put method and take method. These methods, see, what does the put method will do? If the queue capacity is full, it will go into the wait mode. If the take method, if the queue is empty, then the take method will go into the wait mode. Once someone added the data to the queue, then take method will come back to the execution. I'm going to tell you because internally these put method and take methods will use the queues only. So I'm going to tell you how can I do the producer consumer problem using a threads. And at the end, we are going to look at the interview question and answers. And apart from this, I will be providing you the notes, complete thread notes, whatever we are discussing. And if you guys wish to have, every day I'm going to write on the note Word document, like here, right? OneNote. That OneNote also will be shared with you. And whenever we are discussing interview question answers, it may take like 1 or 2 classes. So we'll be writing the question, we'll be seeing the question, and then we'll be writing the answer in the class. So that document also will be shared with you. And the timing of the class is every day morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. And the duration is within 15 to 20 days, we are going to complete. I would say today is March 1st, right? We'll be completing by maximum by March 20. We may complete before it itself, but I'm just keeping some buffer. And 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Monday to Saturday. So since we wanted to complete little early, so I'll be taking the class on Saturday as well. Sunday, there is no class. And the fee is 1,500 rupees only, and you don't need to pay anything for the recordings. So recording access will be there up to 3 months. And the 3 months will be starting from so since there is a 15 to 20 days class, so demo class is only for today and tomorrow. So tomorrow also we have a class, that's a demo class, you can join. From Friday onwards, the original sessions, I mean like the paid, whoever has done the enrollment, for them the class, like the Zoom link will be changed and those classes will be starting from 3rd March. So today and tomorrow will be the demo class. We thought of keeping extra, but since it is a 15-day workshop, I mean, the more demo classes are there, the more delay will happen. So we plan to have only 2 days. So does anyone has any questions on the course content or anything? I see some of you have joined little late. Anyone would like to wanted to repeat me? If you are not unable to speak, you can put your question in the WhatsApp group. Sorry, in the chat box.
Concurrency is not covered as part of this course.
I could not hear you.
So concurrency is not covered as part of this.
Concurrency comes under the, see, where is the future interface? Future interface is part of the concurrency only. So whenever we are discussing, see, generally whenever you are using a what you call array list in the multi-threading, that is not the good way. So we have to use a copy and write array list. Copy and write array list comes under the concurrency. So that will be covered internally. You don't need to write separately. It will be covered. Because it's a small topic, I haven't written. What is the difference between concurrency and synchronization? Do you mean that?
Hi, Karthik.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, Karthik. This is
Yeah.
Jasveer.
Yes.
I just joined a little late, 10 minutes late. Can you please repeat? And can you please tell me the payment mode? Because I'm in the US. So just let me know the payment mode.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
in this course, we are going to look at complete threads from starting to and like multi-threading, basic threads, how to create a thread, synchronization, object like class lock, executor framework, thread pools, and then future interface, Java 8 changes to the executor framework and lock mechanism, and producer consumer problem. So, and the class timing is morning 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. IST. I'll mention the IST. Okay. And Monday to Saturday. Duration is 15 to 20 days. Fee is 1,500 rupees with recording. I mean, like you will be having a backup videos, even if you not join or if you would like to listen to the class again, you can listen that. You don't need to pay anything extra. And the access will be there up to 3 months. And coming to the payment mode, today after the class, all of you are going to get an email from the Ashok IT. In the Ashok IT, they will mention you what is the Google Pay number, what is the mode of payment. Like you can do through the account transfer. Let me show you one sample one if I have. Yeah. So like this, you're going to get an email from the Ashok IT. So today's session video will be there. In place of data structures and algorithm, you will get the complete threads workshop and Zoom link, what you need to join. And this is the enrollment process. See, this is a bank detail. You can do the NEFT transfer, or you can do through Google Pay. And once you are done, you can send a screenshot to this email ID, and by providing this information, they can that means you are considered as enrolled. So for specifically UX candidates, if you can, this is one way you can do, or else what you can do, you can go to the Ashok IT website. So, go to Google, type Ashok IT Tech. See, ashokitech.com. This is the website I'm putting in the Ashok IT Tech. Sorry, let me keep it for all. So this is a website I pinged in the chat. So, so you can see that multi-threading workshop with live coding, right? So this is the one I am referring. If you would like to enroll for this, go to the courses.
I think if you go to like a training schedules, it's there.
Yeah, so there you have an enroll button. Once you see the
Oh.
enroll button, I
Actually,
think,
when you go to training schedule, whatever I saw, like training schedule,
okay.
same Ashok IT, and then go to online training. So I saw the multi-threading there. So then there is
Do you have the enroll button?
not into enroll. If you go to training schedule, I think there is the button. Yeah, online training. Yes, register now. There is Zoom link and register.
Yeah, this is a registration. So once you log into the website, you can create an login. Once you log into the website, so you will have one enroll button. So you can pay through the website as well. Because I am a faculty, I cannot show you that. Like my login will be different if I log into here, right? I don't see the enroll button. So these are the two ways. You can do this one, Google Pay or bank transfer, and then send an email, or you can do it from the website as well. You are going to get an email today after the class, maybe 11 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. IST time. You are going to receive one email from the Ashok IT. So in that email, all the details will be provided. You can just wait for some time and then check your email. Does it answer your question?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Karthik.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other
Karthik,
question?
are you planning to take the core Java classes?
Not yet now, because I'm already occupied with I do teach 7:30 a.m. every day, data structures and algorithms, and 9 a.m. design patterns, and morning 6
Actually,
a.m. this one.
yeah, actually, I'm an automation tester. I really like I understand like a basic core Java, but I really need to practice. Now you are doing like a coding class with coding, so that's why I'm more interested to do coding. How I can utilize that skills to like in my framework. That's why I'm like a more interested to take that classes.
Yeah. So maybe in upcoming months, I may plan for the core Java. Recently, I have completed the core Java in the month of January. So if you would like to enroll for recordings, like you can call up the Ashok IT. So whenever you want to call, you can call this number. So
Actually,
yeah.
no, I like to like live classes.
Okay.
Recording is not. I don't like. I have a lot of recordings, but I never go through that recordings. I always like to go to like a live.
Okay,
Thanks.
then what you can do is the best way is like if you would like, so there are other core Java classes going on, but if you would like to wait for my class, then it may take some time because I'm already busy till 10 a.m. every day
Actually,
with the different
yeah, I
classes.
like your class as well as Mrs. Bindu class. She's also our way of teaching is also like you. So I don't know when she start and when you start. Just let me know. I will definitely join the class.
Yeah, sure. So
Up
if
to advanced Java. I can go up to advanced Java.
yeah, sure.
Thanks.
I have a similar note. Are you planning to start your data structures soon again, another session? I know you started in January. I don't know when your next session. because that time I
maybe
was doing other course. So
maybe in the April. So this currently whatever the data structure that we have, it will be completed by April 15th. Like between April 1st to 15th. So after
okay.
that, I will be starting the data structures from the April 15th.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I have a question.
Yeah.
This multi-threading, right? These days, other than interview purpose, is it practically getting used?
Yes.
Because we are using more of Spring Boot and microservices, right? So where this multi-threading concept is used in the currently?
Yeah. So this multi-threading comes into picture when you are doing a batch. So, so if it is an online application, so why do we use a Spring Boot and microservices to do the web application? Correct. So, for example, you want to process the data in a bulk amount. Let me take one example of. So you will be having some health insurance policy or medical insurance or vehicle insurance or any insurance policy you have. So before 1 week of your payment due date, premium due date, do you receive a message and an email on your mobile and email? So likewise, say for example, if you take the LIC in LIC Corporation, so maybe there are some people who has to complete the payment on March 15th. So before 15 days, LIC has to send a message. So they can. So LIC has around 20 to like 30 to 40 crores of people. Right? In the month of March, assume that there are around 2 crores of people which have to do the complete the payment on March 15th. Do they go to the website and then trigger the message for each and every person?
But why not this messaging? You can use the messaging platform, correct? It doesn't need to be. So what I'm saying that is.
You can say that Kafka we can use, right? So the
Correct.
Kafka is more of, see, in order to do the trigger, see, Kafka means if you want to do online, for example, whenever you book a cab, you will click on the book cab button, and the driver nearby has to be nearby you. The driver has to be notified, and then all the drivers has to be notified, and then one
Correct.
driver accepts the request, remaining all will go off, right? So it's a more of a real time usage, correct? But whatever the
Messaging.
example, yeah, real time messaging, you can go for Kafka or any messaging system like ActiveMQ, RabbitMQ, etc. So, but if it is an offline process, so in order to do this, sending a messages, it like you don't need to do the Kafka also, correct? Because it is not a real time. So you can, so you cannot do anything in the day, but in the night you can schedule one job. What does the job will do? It will take all the people whose premium is due by March 15th, and then it will take the data, and then there you can use a multi-threading. If you are using a single thread process, what happens? It takes time. Like maybe for 2 crore records, it may take around 10 hours or 15 hours. But there, that is one of the use case where you can implement the multi-threading. You can go for some other frameworks also. The thing is, whenever you go for some third-party frameworks, you need to buy a license. But for multi-threading, you don't need to buy anything, right?
Okay. Okay.
So,
But the thing is, this involves complexity. I know the use case that you mentioned is different because it's suppose if you are if that not managed well, it can create other type of problems also, right?
yeah, the
Like
same
data
that will
get
work
integrity data.
even that problem with have any of the software. Even if you are
Okay.
using a Kafka, if you are not configuring the Kafka in a better way, so now you don't use a Kafka, and right, you will go for a cloud. So in the cloud, for example, AWS or Azure,
As a
they will,
SNS, SQS.
yeah, they will provide you the Kafka already inbuilt, but you need to pay the amount for them, right? But if you are using see, if you wanted to do the work, you don't need to pay anything as a POC or something you wanted to do. You can start with a multi-threading. Once the, for example, once the what you call your business is increasing and the users are increasing, and then this might you might convert into the easiest solution, right? So that's where you can buy the license and go with.
Okay. Okay.
Till
So
now, yeah,
initial stages.
yeah, if there is a project that is getting scratched from the that is designing from the scratch, they'll be using all the latest technologies. But there are
Correct.
some projects which are already there in the production from so long. They
Correct.
do not
Correct.
dare to touch, or they do not dare to use it. And
Correct.
when you come to the real time, the number of projects are getting started from scratch is very less compared to the projects that are already present.
The
So
maintenance mode.
yeah, in the maintenance mode. So in the maintenance mode, if you want to do some performance increment or something, then you need to go for this multi-threading.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Does it answer your question?
Yes, yes, I understand. I always wonder about this because so many latest technologies and these things are coming. So how this is, one thing is right. I did come across this one for the projects which are already running with the basically the trading platforms. They run heavy with the multi-threading. That's where definitely they are looking. But the thing is, one thing, your interview questions are the examples that you use. If you can make it a little bit, I mean, like in that mode, the legacy applications are currently the where this concept is getting used. If that those type of examples are used, that will help more, even the interview process also, because when we go for the interview, the expectations are in the load point of view. They are looking that how this multi-threading is gets used. What are the challenges that are faced like that?
So in the interview perspective, everyone knows how to create a thread and all. No one will ask you that. Have you
Correct.
used the threads in your project? And then if yes, tell me how did you use it? Or directly they are asking you to write a code of an executive framework, right? I'm going to tell you one example, which I already generally I used to teach of salary calculation, but that we can implement for any other business. So you have currently you might be working in some project. So like we have around 40 people. 40 people will be working on different 40 projects. So once I explain, I will tell you how this use case can be changed to your project also. What extra things you can add it. So that's way you can easily answer your question.
Okay.
Any other questions? Anyone? Yes, Sanjay, completable feature. Yes, when I say feature interface, right? So if you look at here, already the future interface in Java. Completable feature is enhancement of this one. So we will be looking at that as well. See, if I write each and every statement, it becomes so long, right? It does not. So completable feature will be covered as part of the future itself.
So Karthik, is it helpful for like that multi-threading also in automation perspective? Because we are doing like using that like a parallel execution, and then we are putting that the thread like thread 1, 2 and Vasco that. So I'm not sure if it's helpful for like the automation side too.
Yeah. So automation side, I'm not going to teach anything like using the Selenium framework, etc.
No. But my question is that multi-threading is also like a helpful for like a automation side, right?
Yes. But you don't need to write separately. There are some frameworks which nowadays the Selenium or some other frameworks which are coming, right? It's already implemented. We just need to use it. With this workshop, what you will get to know, you can think of how that is happening. If you would, if you wanted to implement something in future, it is not a surprise to you, and you are not dependent on the third party.
Yes.
So that is our intention.
That's true. That's true. Thank you. Because whenever I like get any interview client side, always questions from the multi-threading, that's why they are asking, what is that multi-threading, how you can handle it, and how you can use that multi-threading as for the parallel execution. So that kind of question is like always from the client side. So that's why I thought this is like a good time to join that multi-threading. So it's not a long course, and it's like a perfect timing for me. It's a 7:30 p.m. So perfect timing. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions, anyone?
Are we going to cover semaphore?
Yeah, those are semaphore, cyclic barrier. These are small topics we'll be covering. Main thing is these are guys. Understanding the object lock and class lock is very difficult. And then the understanding the multi-threading is difficult. Then deadlock, atomicity, and the lock interface. These are the topics which are very, very important. So remaining all you can easily understand, like semaphore, cyclic barrier. These are very small topics. We'll be covering that too.
Thank you.
So if no question, let us get started with the today's class. So I'm just creating. So you can do using a Eclipse or IntelliJ, any of your choice. We are going to create a standalone Java project and then learn what is a thread and how to create a thread. Okay, so I'm just starting the Eclipse. We'll create a project workspace first. Let me create. This is the first complete thread. So let me keep 01 complete thread workshop. So I'm just creating a workspace and clicking on launch. So it will create a new workspace. Once the workspace is created, then we'll create a Java project and then we'll create a package and then we'll start what is a thread. So today we are going to see what is the definition of a thread first of all. Just give us a minute. By the time the Eclipse will load. Yeah, it is taking a little bit time. Yeah, I think it is loading. Yes. And the entire code will be shared with you guys. So the process of enrollment, like today and tomorrow demo classes, right? If you are interested, after the today's class, you will get an email, right? You can respond with a payment, etc. And then one WhatsApp group will be created for all of you. And whoever has completed the payment, they will be invited to the WhatsApp group. Okay. And in the WhatsApp group, if there is any announcement or anything like you wanted to discuss with a question, or if there is a change in the class timing, generally I don't, but anything that we wanted to discuss among ourselves, that is a medium WhatsApp group. And then I can upload the complete code that I am writing, complete notes into the website and the WhatsApp group. You can access from there. I'm just creating Java other and then Java project. Click on next. Currently, I'll be using Java 8 only. Complete thread workshop. I'm keeping the project name as complete thread workshop. And I'm keeping the runtime execution as Java 8, 1.8. And I'm clicking next. And I'll be clicking on finish. So I have created a Java project. Okay, now let us create a package. Right click, new package, com.ashokit.threads. So the package name should never be the capital letter. So every time it should create a small letter. So this threads. Okay, I created a package. Now let me inside this package, let me create a class. New Java class. Thread example. So I created a class. Does anyone has any questions so far on like how to create this work setup, etc.?
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Now, basically, now many people does not know what is a thread. When I say what is a thread, see, if I ask you what is inheritance, immediately people will say inheritance is nothing but child is acquiring the properties from the parent. That means that's a definition. So now what is the definition of a thread? Definition of a thread is nothing but a independent process, independent path of execution, independent path of execution within a same program, within a same program. What is a thread? Thread is nothing but a independent path of execution within the same program. So this is a definition. Okay. Now let me prove you guys. How can I say that it's an independent path, right? Now let me create. Now there are three ways to create a thread. Three ways to create thread. So I'm using one. We have a class called thread in Java. So we have a class called thread. By extending a thread class, we can create a thread object. So how to create a thread and all, I will come to the later. But I am just trying to show you the prove the definition to you guys while debugging. Now I am creating a thread. So one way is to create a thread is extends thread class and then override the run method. Don't worry, there are some questions why to override the run method. I will explain all of those. First of all, let me show you how can I say that thread is an independent path of execution. Now I have extended a thread class and I overridden the run method. Now let me write the main method. Now can I say this is nothing but an inheritance? Child class and this is the parent class. Can I say it is an inheritance?
Yes, it is inheritance.
Yeah. So, so now let me create an object for a child class. Okay. Now can someone tell me when I run the program, where the program execution starts?
From main method. From main method.
Yes. So whenever I run the Java program, so whenever I start, so the thread program, the normal program execution starts from a main method. Similarly, thread program starts from a thread flow of execution starts from a run method. Why run method? Why not something else? We will see that later. Okay. Now I just wanted to show you guys thread is nothing but an independent path of execution. Let me create one more thread. Okay. Now I have created two objects, correct? Two objects, and then I am calling the start method. Why am I calling the start method? I will see. I will look at that. Now let me. So here, does anyone do not know what is a debugging? How to do the debug in Java?
Yes.
Okay.
Just put the breakpoint where
Yes.
where you're supposed to do the debug
So
point.
yeah. So in order to put the breakpoint, there are two ways. You can double click on this blue line or right click, click on toggle breakpoint.
Yeah.
Okay. Now and then right click, debug as Java application. Since it's a main method, I'm clicking it as a debug as Java application. Now see, see if you look at the left hand side window, debug window, correct? Are you guys able to see the left hand side debug window? So this window is very important whenever you're visualizing the threads. Now, for example, some people will say, sir, accidentally I have closed it. I have closed the debug window. Now, how can I get it? Correct? Now you can go to here, just type debug. If it is an Eclipse, you go to the search box and click on the type debug and then click on this one. See, the debug has come again, correct? So I'm just telling you some shortcuts. Okay. Now, currently, how many threads are executing? You look at here, thread main, because in Java, the program execution starts from a main and main method is also a thread, correct? See, currently, which line it is executing? Line number 8. Now let me do F6. F6 is nothing but a line by line execution. I see. So that means, can I say that I have completed line number 8 and 9? So I have created two thread objects. But does it created any, do you see any other flow or only one flow?
Only one.
Only one flow. That means creating a thread object does not mean that creating a thread, correct? I repeat my statement. Creating a thread object does not mean that you are starting the thread. Okay. Now, let us call the start method. Now, this where the start method is present, it is not present here. Now, using the inheritance, where does it mean? So in the thread class, we have the start method. Let me go to the thread class. See, it's a thread dot class. It's a Java code, right? It is not. So let us see whether do we have a start method. Yes. See, we have a synchronized start method. Okay. So I'm calling the parent class start method. Now, so when I say start method, now let me do the F6. See, do you see one independent path of execution started? Yes or no? Whenever I call the start method, earlier we have only one flow of execution, that is a thread main. Now, do you see one more flow of execution, thread 0?
Yes.
And it is executing line number 16? Yes. Now, let me go to the line number 17. Okay, done. So now, let me go back to the main thread. Let's say if you want to go back, then click it. Select it, click on the main. Now, I'm clicking F6 again. So how many flow of executions are present in this example now?
3.
3. So now what did I tell? Thread is nothing but an independent path of execution. Now, can you guys tell me whether this thread 0, is it a separate path of execution? It is in the currently line number 17. Now, thread 1, is it a separate path of execution?
Yes, sir.
So that is where the definition comes. Thread is nothing but an independent path of execution. And the answer is within a same program. That means, how did this thread 0 and thread 1 started executing? From the main method only, right? If you do not have a main method, is this possible to do? So within the same program. So from the same program, the independent path of executions are created. So this is nothing but a definition of a thread. Thread is nothing but an independent path of execution. So if you call one more thread object and do call t3.start, then it will create one more independent execution. So this is a definition you need to remember. Now, which method is responsible to create a thread independent path of execution? Start method. Now, so where the start method is having the logic, did we write the start method? No. So what are you doing here? You're creating an object to the child class, and then you're calling the start method. Then what does the compiler will do? It will check whether the start method is present in this class. No. Then it will go to the parent class because of inheritance. In the thread class, do you have the start method? Yes. So look at here. In this thread class, the Java creators has written the code in such a way that it will, it will create an independent path of execution. So the which method provides you the thread kind of a functionality? The start method. Any questions so far? So this is actually a thread definition. Thread is nothing but an independent path of execution. So now how to debug? Let me debug it again for the interest of you guys. Now right click, debug as Java application. First you will go to the main thread. Okay. Now let me click F6. See, when I create a thread object, does it create a thread? No. Whenever you call the start method, that's where the independent path of execution will come into picture. Now, whenever I do F6 again, one more thread independent path of execution is created, right? So this is nothing but a thread. So if someone is asking you what is a thread, you need to remember this one. And this is how that I can relate it, the thread flow of execution into the coding. Any questions, anyone?
Sir, will you teach about thread scheduler also?
I could not hear you.
Sir, will you teach the thread scheduler?
Thread scheduler means what do you mean by that?
Basically, whatever we are doing here, right? When you click that is the thread scheduler is the one which schedules.
Yeah, so that is
making the calls.
Thread scheduler is not, there is no class, nothing. Okay. So there are some, for example, if you go for a Unix operating system or some softwares, they will provide you one scheduler. So in that, it's a configurable one. So that is not part of a threads concept. So it's a extra third-party tools are providing you some flexibility how to schedule a thread. Like what type? See, for example, I can tell you there are some softwares. You wanted to trigger this program on night 8 p.m. Okay, and you wanted to keep 5-thread process. I mean, like number of threads you wanted to give as a runtime input. Okay, so you will write a Java program, but that Java program will be triggered from one scheduler. One example for that is opcon scheduler. So in real time, there is a opcon scheduler. What does that scheduler will do is, see, if I want to execute a multi-threading program, what I will do, whenever I want to execute, I will have to right click, run as Java application. But right, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but what the scheduler will do is, you want to schedule the job at 8 p.m. every day. So what you can do, there are some schedulers. One example is opcon scheduler. So it's a third-party software. In the third-party software, you can select the time. You can so whenever I create an executive framework and fixed thread pool, so to the fixed thread pool, I need to pass some input. So how many threads I need to create. So in the opcon scheduler, you can provide the input. So that opcon scheduler will trigger the units from the Unix shell script. Opcon scheduler will be from the opcon scheduler, Unix shell script will be triggered, and from the Unix shell script, the Java program will be triggered. So that scheduler is something different, which is not part of this threads at all. So these are some third-party tools. They are providing some flexibility, right? If you want to run automatically every day, some scheduled time, like every 5 minutes, or some specified time like 8 p.m. every day or 10 p.m. every day, then you can use the third-party tool. It's a UI. When I say UI, it's a whatever you use the Facebook, right? It's a self-explanatory. So you can schedule the time over there and then trigger it. So you can try the opcon scheduler. It's a paid, first of all the schedulers will be paid version, guys. We don't get trial version. So opcon scheduler. See?
I think the question here is within the threads itself, there is a thread scheduler, correct? That's what it manages when
there is nothing. Yeah. Nothing like that. Yeah, that is what I am coming to the topic.
Okay.
So these schedulers will provide you basically the comfortability. So Ganesh, the scheduler is not part of this.
Okay.
Sorry, Karthik, sorry, I joined a little late. No, I'm not sure whether it's true. This runnable interface, using that also will create worker, right? I mean, how is it different? Is it explained already?
No. I just explained the course content, duration, and then I just explained what is a thread. So that so how to create a thread, what are the different ways to create a thread, we'll see it in the tomorrow class, because we are on top of time.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions, anyone?
Sir, when you're debugging, once it is there in the run method, how did you come back to the main method, sir, again? What is the key?
So you click. See here, currently in main method, right? It is selected, blue color. Now if you want to see what is happening in the thread 0, click. Select it, click. And what is happening in thread 1? Select it, click.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You take the cursor over there and then click it.
Sir,
So
I have
individually to control the step in, step out operations on the respective threads, we have to click out and then we have to do that operations.
Yeah, because generally if you run the program, now let me run the program instead of debugging. Do you guys know independent process? Output, I got the output, correct? 2 threads are there. 2 threads are running the executing the run method, and they are putting the output as 2 times. High. But do I know, see, by running the program, can I visualize that thread definition? No, correct? It is very difficult to see. There are some people.
only when we step through, then we will know that.
Yes. It looks like a general way of execution, but if you want to anything do with the threads, like whenever you're working, if you want to understand what is happening, So the best way is to debug only.
I
Sir,
think we can show the thread names also. I think so.
Yes, everything. So setting a thread name, everything will be discussed in upcoming classes.
Okay.
I am trying the same way, whatever you have given, but I don't see thread 0 or thread 1. Is it any
No, you
machine
need to.
dependent?
No.
I did that toggle pointers. I put the breakpoint.
Okay. So did you
We have to put the breakpoint at the run method.
run
Also,
method?
is that
Yes, because so if you don't keep the run method, let us run the program. So immediately the start
keep
method.
only the yeah. Let's see that. That's what I want.
So the thing is, whenever you say run start method, what is happening? Start method, independent thread path of execution will be creating. But where that path of execution will start? If it's a normal program, main method. If it's a thread, it's a run method. If you don't keep the debugger, what does it mean? You don't want to debug inside this, correct? It will execute automatically. You don't see that, correct?
Right.
So the best way to visually see, it is happening. It is executed, you got the output, but you did not see because you did not keep a debugger point. So if you want to visualize it, keep the debugger. This is a general mistake, everyone does it.
Correct.
So debugger,
I think
Java.
I did the same mistake. Okay.
You just keep that breakpoint and see.
Okay.
Why should I go for a run method only? Because that's where the start method internally calls the run method. I will show you that later.
Okay.
So that is a reason why you need to override the run method also. See?
So the start method is a native method, Karthik? Is it a native method?
No, it is not a native. I mean, like it is already present in the thread class. So there is a logic for this. See, this is the logic.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, inside there must be some.
So thread start 0 they are calling. This is a native method. So the implementation is there in the operating system.
Okay.
And you mentioned that if you wanted to see that in the debug mode, right? Double click, you select it and double click. What does that means?
No.
To see that.
Now, what someone asked about is, I'm here. When I say t.start, 3 threads started executing, correct? Now I want to see what is happening in the thread 0. Then how can I go? You select it, click here.
Okay,
I mean, like
you need to run method.
I mean, like whichever the thread you want to do. So wherever that line of execution is there, select it and click here. You will go corresponding thread. See here now in the thread 1, I'm clicking F6. See, look at here. Currently thread 1 is in line number 17. Thread 0 in line number 16. Main method is in line number 12. So how to go back to the thread 0? Select and click.
Okay.
Karthik, when we create multiple threads, right? So which thread will get execute on which part? So that will be decided by thread scheduler only, right? So
thread
when
scheduler,
we don't have that,
not thread scheduler, in your operating system will decide. In the operating system, you have a scheduler. Now currently, what is the operating system you're using? Windows, correct? So with the Windows operating system, will have one scheduler internally. So Linux will have something else. Every operating system will have. So whenever you start the thread, it does not mean that immediately it has to start, correct? So it all depends on operating system. And at any point of time, you cannot tell which thread will execute. See, if you debug, can I say the control is in your hand, right? So now I'm debugging. I want to complete thread 1. Now, can I say click on thread 1 and then do F6? Yes or no? That means now, whenever I'm debugging, which thread to execute or which thread to complete, is that control is in my hand?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Whenever I'm debugging, I'm asking.
Debugging, you have the control.
Yeah. But but in the real time, do you do the debug?
No.
So that is what. So why are you doing the debugging? You wanted to understand the behavior, right? So then, so if you want to understand, you have to debug. But in general, no one can guarantee that at any point of time, which thread is executing. Why? Because execution of a thread depends on the priority of a thread. That is one part. Even though the priority is same, it all depends on the operating system. So operating system has some logic to check what thread, like which thread can be given to the execution, etc. So it all depends on the operating system. So whether whatever the machine you have, you will have some operating system, right? Even if it is a cloud also, in that you have some operating system. So that that operating system will decide which thread to execute at what point of time. Any questions? Anything?
Yeah, hello sir, just one thing. Hi, good morning.
Yeah.
Sir, actually I missed the 30-minute class, so sir, can we get the recording of it on YouTube?
Yes,
Today's class?
today after the enrollment, so after the class by 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. or 11:30 a.m., you are going to receive an email from the Ashok IT. In that, today's class recording will be provided. You can watch it.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And if you want to know the details of the class, timing is 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., Monday to Saturday. Duration is 15 to 20 days. Fee is 1,500 rupees with recordings and access up to 3 months.
Sir, about multi-threading only?
Yeah, this is a complete threading. Complete
yeah,
threads.
okay. Yeah.
Karthik,
Sir, where can I contact, sir? Can you give the contact number also?
So you will get an email. In that email, it will be there.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Or what you can do, you can go to the Google, type ashokit.tech.com. Let me put this in the chat.
Yeah, okay, sir. Sir, any prerequisites for multi-threading, sir?
You just need to have the what is the Java, etc.
Yes, sir.
So if in the website on top, there is one number. You can use that.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yeah, Shankar, I'll talk about this point later because we are on top of time. I'll take the other question.
Yeah, Karthik, I was asking, like, can we debug the same way in IntelliJ also? Like,
Yes.
we can
in
we
IntelliJ, if you are new to the IntelliJ, you do not know the shortcut, right? So there is a key map. So in the key map, you can set the shortcuts of Eclipse. So whatever, in order to open a file in the Windows, in Eclipse, you need to do Control-Shift-R, right? So all these kind of shortcuts, you can keep it in the IntelliJ also. You can debug in IntelliJ also.
Okay.
So
Actually,
by
I
default,
was debugging. Yeah, I was debugging there, so I can see multiple threads, but I don't know, like, how can I see each threads where it is running actually?
So you go to the key map and then set the shortcuts. Now what you can do, go to the Google, Eclipse setting, Eclipse shortcut in IntelliJ. Okay. So you can watch this video or there will be, key map. There is something called key map. Yeah. Go to file, settings, key map. In that key map, what you can do, you select the Eclipse. See?
Okay.
Go to file, settings, key map, select Eclipse, and then click on apply. Automatically, all the Eclipse shortcuts will work in the IntelliJ.
Okay.
Any other question? Last question. Yeah. So it will be interesting.
Is there a way
guys.
tomorrow? Is there a way tomorrow you can cover with the IntelliJ?
Okay, I can do for one class, but yeah, sir, I'll try to install the IntelliJ in my laptop. If it works, I mean, like if there is no
Because
issues or license, then I can
many now mostly most of the companies they are still using IntelliJ, so that will be helpful.
See, whenever you are writing a Java coding, first of all, if you are dependent on some what you call this kind of environment, either Eclipse or IntelliJ, that's where you are losing all your basics. First of all, because if you are habituated to write the program in the notepad, then that is the right approach to learn the programming language. Because see, whenever in the interview they don't ask you to use a Eclipse or IntelliJ, correct? So generally, if I'm asking, then people start writing this one, public class. So there itself a mistake. The public should be small letter, correct? All the keywords in Java should be small letter. So better way to learn, I can tell IntelliJ, not a problem for me. But as a learner, whenever you are start learning, when you are writing the code in the IntelliJ or Eclipse, that is fine. But at the same time, I request you guys to spend at least 10 to 15 minutes of time writing the program in the notepad. That's where you will see all your compilation issues. So for example, if it is a array, we have a length. But if it's array list, do we have a length method? No. We have a size, correct? And all the keywords should be small. So you will be habituated to that programming. I can explain IntelliJ tomorrow. I'll try to download it. If there are no issues, I can do the demonstration in the IntelliJ for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Rangaya, I will be sharing the interview questions in a PDF. Yes. Notes also in the PDF format.
Sir, one small doubt, sir, like the code.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So instead of saying T1 dot start, even if we said T1 dot run also, the same thing will happen.
Yeah. No, that is what so these things will be covered in the upcoming class, but since you asked me, I will tell you. So can I say whenever it says T1 dot start, can I say independent path of execution is created?
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes.
T1 dot start.
No. T1 dot start will create, not the run.
Yeah. So see, look at here. T1 dot run. What is happening? It is going to run method. Same thread is going to run method. That means it is calling as simple as the same another method in Java.
Okay, so
whenever you call the run method,
is not happened, sir.
Yeah. Yes. So that is what all this will be covered in the upcoming class. Don't worry. Okay. I'll be explaining in detail, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So if no questions, we are on delayed by 7 minutes. I have another class at 7:30. So
Thank you.
Thank you, tomorrow also there will be a demo classes. If you are interested, you can join. Even see, it doesn't matter whether you enroll or not enroll. But if you have a time, I request you to join. Some are the other things you will learn. And if you like the way I teach, you can enroll for the course.
Actually, this is your second point is very valid. Now, I always used to wonder to join your data structures, which I wanted to, but you're so clear. So I will definitely consider next time for the data structures.
Yeah. So I just wanted to share. It's a business, but at the same time, I just wanted to share. The one thing I believe is whatever I know, if I share it with other people, right, I will never forget. And whenever I teach data structures, whatever is right, I don't need to practice every day because I taught around 7 to 8 batches of data structures. Now, if you ask me to write a tree program, immediately I will be writing without any, and I'm ready to explain why am I writing each line of code. Because whatever I learn, like not only this programming, whatever you know, if you share it with others, you don't need to practice. That is what I learned in my life. So I just wanted to, so it doesn't matter whether you enroll it or not, but join my demo classes, free workshops, everything. You will get some of the other knowledge and you can share it with others as well.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Karthik.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Karthik.